So good afternoon. My name is Bhima Sastri. I'm in the Department of Energy, and I have another engagement that I need to go to, so I'm coming a little early. Usually I go after Dr. Sotacarbo because he lays the foundation for why this is important. And then, but today, you have to excuse me. So this is always a challenge to kind of talk to this audience because there's a lot of students here. So they want some fundamentals, and there are a lot of professionals here who already know, but they want to know what we are doing. So it's a mix of a little bit of both. So I want to take a quick round. How many engineers in the students? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the rest I'm assuming are all in science. Something. So that's a good thing. So I think I've mixed a little bit of some fundamentals and also research. And like I said, I usually go after Dr. Kao because he kind of gives a little perspective. But today I'll try to give you something about what's the laser word? No, that's the up and down. But this laser. Okay. So the outline of my talk today is going to, generally, I'm going to talk about energy use and emissions, carbon capture challenges and opportunities. Specifically, I've been asked to talk by Dr. Alberto about oxy-combustion technology. I'll kind of touch a little bit, but this time I wanted to talk about something new and more future, looking at chemical looping. Okay? And then I'll give a brief overview of what the carbon capture technologies are, and then kind of end up with what we are doing in Department of Energy in the National Lab. So my first thing about energy emissions, why this is important. So if you look at, this is just one way of looking at it. There are many ways of looking at it. I think Dr. Lanza put together the IEA chart, which I'll also show. But if you look at where the fossil fuels are used, you will find that most of them have to do with electricity generation. So in the United States alone, we are going from about 4 billion kilowatt hours all the way up to about 5.5 billion kilowatt hours by the year 2050. And in that process of that 30%, 31% change, you will notice that fossil fuels are about 60%, 50 to 60% at least in the minimum usage. And same thing with the world, in the world what is happening is the percentage of electricity that is generated from fossil fuels goes up by 61%. That's because a lot of growing countries like India, China are all getting onto the market. But even there, the amount of fossil fuels that are used is going up significantly, okay? The amount of coal being used may change because natural gas is much cheaper now, but fossil fuels will always remain the main reason why we are generating electricity. And that's the point I want to make and why fossil fuel. So when you burn fossil fuel, what are you going to get? You're going to get carbon dioxide, which is why we are here to talk about a little bit. Another way of looking at this, pretty much the same chart, but with a bar chart, is to show the fact that from the year 2020 to 2050, there's going to be about 35% growth in the energy use. So we are trying to meet those challenges both at DOE and across the world by saying how are we going to meet this. Well, this morning Dr. Lanza showed this graph. I have an older version which ends at 2050. He had the new one, but the message is about the same. I think what I really want to tell you is that to get to the 2-degree scenario that you talked about, we need to have a combination of things, right? But we are focusing today on the carbon capture and storage, which is 20% of what we can get by 2050 of this CO2 reduction. So that carbon capture technologies includes not just capturing, but storage. And as previous speakers spoke about, now there is, after the CSLF and we had a meeting, there's emphasis on utilization, also CCUS. Okay? So this 20% of carbon capture and storage, where is it going to come from? challenges that we have are basically one way of looking at this. So carbon capture is not just capture alone. It is capture, then you have to compress the CO2. But before you compress, the capture itself has to have high purity of CO2. You can't inject, let's say, an oxygen, even in parts per million sometimes, into the ground because of reasons related to many things, corrosion, what it does to the oil field. But the capture includes both the separation technologies to take out all the elements. Compression, then you have to compress it very high, transport, then you inject it for storage, and then you have, after you inject it, you need to monitor it to see where the CO2 is going. So there's a lot of steps, but the main emphasis here is with the capture in terms of value chain cost. So that's the highest cost. So if you want industry and if you want the countries to take part in this, we need to reduce the cost. How do we get the carbon capture, which includes separation costs, down? So one way of looking at carbon capture and how we can do that is to look at process chemistry, process integration, chemical production methods, process equipment and all that. But really, there are several ways of doing this, The absorption processes is already known. I'm going to kind of talk about it in the capture part, right? There you can do pre-concentration of CO2, which is what this talk is going to be about, and coupling it with membrane and other activities. So I'm going to focus on that pre-combustion capture. How do we make it? Because capture, if you get more of the CO2, it's easier to capture. So that's what you will see in this technology. So the three ways that we can, right now, that we generate fuel is through the PC flue gas. For that, we already have a commercial facility in Texas, in Petronova, where we actually took a 250 megawatt thermal plant, and we are capturing the CO2, compressing it, and injecting it into an oil field where we are generating oil. I think the last I heard, it's about 800 to 1,000 barrels per day of oil is being generated at that site. So we already know the PC flue gas. Well, the other way of looking at it is through IGCC syngas. And I'll tell you in a moment why we need to do this. But gasification process, sometimes an optional oxygen will give you an attempt. Then there is oxycombustion. There are oxycombustion technologies which will give you. So why this is important, before I get to that, I just want from the student's perspective, why oxycombustion can also be important. One is, if you use air, which only has 20% oxygen, you have to deal with the nitrous oxides and what you do with it. Plus, you have to have a right mixture of oil, of air and fuel. If not, you can burn it in different ways. So, just from the chart that I borrowed from solar turbines, the fuel ratio has to be just right for you to get the right combustion techniques. Whereas in oxycombustion, all you have is two components. I'm simplifying it for the sake of science. It's just two components. You get CO2 and water. If you can separate the water out, you're in pretty good shape. So the reason why we want to do oxycombustion, this chart how oxycombustion comes. So if you notice, in the PC flue gas option that we had with air, you only get 14% CO2. With IGCC, you can get up to 40% of CO2. But with oxycombustion, you have a high chance of making that 71% CO2. That means you're burning your carbon much more effectively, you're generating more CO2. So when you have more of CO2, the separation costs come down. So the capture costs that I mentioned right at the beginning, those come down. So industry will be able to more accept this. So one way of doing this oxycombustion is with pressurized oxy and with chemical looping. So in the pressurized oxy, what we do is, oxycombustion by nature is very exothermic. So what we have to do is, when you burn it at temperatures which are very high, you'll find that the mass volume is reduced, but the water picks up a lot of heat. So you can recover the latent heat in then heat transfer rates are improved because of that. Whereas this is a new thing that I'll be talking about, chemical looping. You don't need certain things. It's a much more advanced technology. There's a lot of research going on right now. It also is a technology that allows you to do various things, which I will explain in a minute. But basically, oxy-combustion is a new path forward because it gives you, for the same amount of carbon, it gives you more CO2, so you don't have to fight the separation. You know, in that earlier flue gas, when you burn in air, 69% of it is nitrous oxides and other nitrogen, which you need to separate out before you compress, transport, and inject. So you are dealing with that. So that's the thing. So just an oxy-combustion technologies, one slide that will overview this. We've already finished the first generation of oxy-combustion technologies where we looked at atmospheric oxy-combustion. In fact, we were trying to put together a plant in Tate, Ohio to kind of do that. But this current generation and the future generation technologies include two things. One is the chemical looping combustion, which is on the top, which we'll go through in a little bit more detail. But this one I just wanted to say is a pressurized oxy. What's different about this oxy is that it requires an air separation unit. These are very expensive because when you want to separate air, you want to make, you get nitrogen, you get a lot of other components. So people who are in the business of air separation are not doing it for generating oxygen. They are in the business to make argon, a couple of other type of components that come from air, which are very high value. Whereas, oxygen, they sell it on the side, but those are expensive. I can't buy that just to use it in regular power generation plant because of the expense. So, in this pressurized oxy-combustion, there are new boilers. Again, I spoke about it in last year's section, but there's a whole bunch of things that are going on in this. And then you have to have CO2 purification compression. You still have the same thing even in chemical looping, but the idea is that pressurized oxy is still a new technology, as is chemical looping. But chemical looping avoids this particular stage, which is expensive. You can use air and you can use chemical. So that's the idea. So in very basic form, chemical looping, which shares the advantage of oxy-fuel. There's no separate oxygen required. And you can do two things. You can separate out where you're going to do, there are two reactors here. This is called the oxidizing reactor, this is the reducing reactor. But to avoid confusion, what happens is you take metal oxide, oxide, and then you pass air through that metal oxide, it picks up the oxygen from the air. So it becomes metal oxide, which is injected back into the fuel reactor, which receives that oxygen. And then once the oxygen is depleted, the metal particles come down from the seal and then they recirculate. The fuel is introduced with the metal oxide, and when it burns, it forms CO2. Okay? So it's a unique technology, and what we call is, the orange is the fuel reactor, and the bluish one is called the air reactor. In the air reactor, you have oxidation of metal. In the fuel reactor, what happens is the fuel is oxidized and the metal is reduced. Again, you'll see that this is not anything new. In 1956, there was a patent on this where they used iron oxide, and what they wanted to do was generate pure CO2 from this. And this is a technology, so once you take the ferrous oxide and react it with carbon monoxide, it becomes iron. And then the iron is then reacted with water to form. So this is how they recirculate with the iron. Okay? So this technology is not new. And again, if you look at how we breathe air, when we breathe air, we transfer oxygen to the blood. It uses it through the blood and then it comes back. So chemical looping is going on even in our bodies, right? So there's nothing new about this technique. So what happens with chemical looping, and this is something that the engineers would know, is that, and just from a basic science standpoint, whenever you have an oxidizing reaction, you will have heat, because oxidizing reactions are exothermic in nature. So the heat released has to be captured and something has to be done. Now when you burn fuel with oxygen, it's an endothermic reaction. It needs heat. So there should be a balance of how you generate heat in the air reactor and how you use that heat in the fuel reactor. So it's a balance. If you can achieve that balance, then it's called an orthothermal reactor. But unfortunately, it's not easy. So there's a lot of research that is going on in this, because the rate at which you get heat from the air reactor is different from the rate at which the endothermic reactor needs the heat. So there's a balance between the two. So there's a lot of challenges that you need to go through. So basically, summary, what I'd like to say is, it's of new interest to us because of CO2 capture. You can generate the CO2, compress it, and just like that. You can use air, and the best part is that you don't need an air separation unit. And the way the system is set up, it's like a circulating fluidized bed, of which we know a lot, and we can do the modeling work and all of that. All right, so this is basically the chemical looping. And Department of Energy is doing many projects. This is just one example. We have a Babcock and Wilcox company in Ohio. We are funding research for a 250 kilowatt thermal pilot unit. It's already in progress. They have the iron oxide. And basically it's a very novel reactor. We tested the modeling and we did all the work in NETL along with Babcock's. And then we're kind of setting this up. This has already been tested a few times, but we are trying to get into continuous 250 hours of testing in the next year or two. So, again, in the interest of time, I'm going to do a brief overview of capture technologies. It's not just necessary that you generate carbon in large volumes, you need to capture them too. So in the capture technologies, this one slide actually kind of summarizes a lot of the work that we have done in the Department of Energy. One is, we have looked at amine solvents back in 2010, they've all been, and the cost-wise, they're fairly good. In Petronova, we use some of those amine solvents, in fact. There are a lot of other work that we've done in membranes. Chemical looping is really one of the new technologies that, new in the sense that the way we set it up is still a challenge. So we believe that by 2020 we will have enough understanding that chemical looping through some of the projects that DOE is doing will be something that can eventually be put into place and the cost can come down with the technology that is developed. Okay? So, just to give you what we are doing at Department of Energy in terms of research, both post-combustion and pre-combustion capture, we do research in both. And in each of them, there are three components. One is solvents, sorbents, and membranes. So in each of those, you would look, for solvents, we're looking at amines like the previous slide that shows, and all the way up. Now, there are two things here. The blue is second generation, which is what we're doing now, and the orange ones are transformational, meaning that we think that by the year 2030 we'll have something. So you look at sorbents, we're looking at temperature and pressure swing absorption, PSA and PSA, and we're looking at structured absorbance in the transformational region. Same thing with membranes. So I don't want to dwell too much on this because in the interest of time and where I have to be. So I want to give you one example of what we are doing. And there's a company called Membrane Technology and Research Incorporated. In fact, I think Alberta has organized a talk with them, I think sometime in Thursday, somebody will be talking about this. Essentially, this is a process diagram in which you have coal feed into the boiler. You take the CO2, that's a membrane, you sweep the CO2 out, but when you do that, you get water with it. So you use 3 stages to remove the water, then you compress the CO2, and then you can make it into liquid CO2 or whatever the options are. You can also take a sweep with another membrane where you take that so that you can use it as a diluent into the coal boiler itself in terms of controlling the temperatures. So that's just a brief overview of the capture, what we are doing at the Department of Energy. So I just wanted to focus only on the National Energy Technology Lab this time instead of focusing on the projects. We have a lot of work going on in computational science, in materials, in geological and environmental systems, in energy conversion, and under that you have a lot of them that we engage in, to take care of this mission that we have of carbon capture and emission. So there are a couple of slides here on chemical looping that's going on in NETL. You'll see a lot of modeling work that we do first. Then there's a lot of work we also are doing in sensors and controls. How we combine that with some of the metal carriers. So it's not just iron oxide, there's copper oxide. There's a lot of other metals that you can do. Copper oxide also can be recirculated. Along with that, we also have new metals that we're looking at. So all of those are combined, and we have a 50 kilowatt thermal unit at Morgantown, and basically you have a bubbling bed fuel reactor. We have an air reactor which is transporting bed, turbulent reactor, and then we have a control. I think tomorrow you will have, in my morning session, we'll have Bill and I'll talk a little bit maybe about that, but basically the idea is that you start with modeling them, you combine them with what the research you have to come up with a pilot plant. That's the plan that we have. Again, I didn't have, just to show you why modeling is important, I wanted to show you this, something that we did in modeling. So while that runs, again, what I wanted to show there was how the temperature profiles. So if you look at this, this is a simulation that we generated through a model, and you can see how in oxy-combustion what the temperatures are. This bar chart doesn't show well. This is 2100 degrees Fahrenheit in red, and purple is 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So the temperature range is from 300 to 2200 almost. So you find that, a lot of the, in oxy-combustion, you can reach temperatures of 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. That means, if you don't have materials that can handle those temperatures, you can do a whole lot. So there's a lot of materials research that's going on. You also understand the flame dynamics through this modeling. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. You can also look at how you can model the pressure. So the modeling is an essential part of what we do at R&D, and out of that we kind of eliminate a lot of things. Then once we know the temperatures at different places, we can actually do additive manufacturing to say where we're going to have the high temperature metals and where we're not going to have that. Again, just to show you what we do at the Research and Innovation Center at NETL, we do integrated modeling. For instance, in this particular thing with capture, what we looked at was metal organic frameworks. We kind of predicted by calculations. You tie them up with pure membrane properties, and then you use that to predict the properties of the membranes, and then you put it into a process where we can actually test it out. So these are the kind of things that the steps by which we are doing R&D to kind of come up with processes that can lead you to new technologies in carbon capture and sequestration. So the general target is this, that by 2025 we will get to $40 a ton for CO2, and with transformation technologies we want to bring it to below 25 a ton by 2025. So in the interest of time, I'm going to end with this slide here. Basically what I wanted to capture was that I want to let you know that the carbon CCS, when we talk about it, the carbon capture component is the most expensive one, and it's very high. So if we can figure out ways to make that better, that would be the key thing for industry to adopt this technology. Second thing is we have a large portfolio of advanced coal-based oxy-fuel combustion projects that we're doing. I only gave you a sample of some of them. We have many more projects that we're doing. Again, after that, carbon capture technologies play a key role after you post-combustion, how do you separate it. And then, we believe that the national labs that we work with play a significant role in facilitating the support of this idea. So that's my talk today, and I thank Dr. Carbo for letting me. By the way, if you have any questions, please feel free. If you don't want to ask here, I'm here almost all week, so we can, when we have interactions, feel free to ask questions, and I'd be glad to work with you, any of the students. All right? Thank you very much.